The greatness that is within us will always outweigh the injustices that have been visited against us. Despite what we've been through for centuries, our survival is a testament to that fact. In closing, I would like to offer this quote by Nelson Mandela. And he says, "Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizing, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. Truth begins with language." Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, tomorrow we vote on a historic resolution that will be another step in the journey of establishing truth. We stand united as Africans, whether on the continent or any part of the world, and link up with people of conscience around the world to seek truth and justice and restore the dignity and humanity of victims of the slave trade. This is a resolution of destiny. And I hope all of you will vote tomorrow to establish truth so that together we can pass this historic resolution and finally acknowledge the full horrors of these transgressions against humanity of the approximately 15 million human beings who were enslaved. I thank you very much for your attention.
We join the global community in the spirit of profound solemnity to honor the memory of the millions of African men, women, children who were victims of the transatlantic slave trade. This was not merely a dark chapter in history, it was a 400-year crime against humanity that fundamentally altered the trajectory of the African continent and the modern world. For Nigeria, this remembrance is personal. The shores from which our ancestors were taken are not merely geographical or geographic markers, they are sacred sites of memory, resilience, and unfinished justice. Confronting history requires history. The transatlantic slave trade was a systemic engine of exploitation to foil the industrial and economic rise of distant shores. Nigeria therefore maintains that true justice begins with a global curriculum that accurately reflects this history, ensuring that the roots of systemic racism and prejudices are identified and dismantled at their sources. Mr. President, advancing dignity is at the heart of our collective responsibility. As we navigate the international decade for people of African descent, we must recognize that the broken bones of slavery have manifested in modern society in systemic marginalization and racial profiling. Therefore, combating modern slavery is essential by eradicating contemporary forms of servitude, including human trafficking, which continue to stain our global conscience. Nigeria stands in solidarity with the people of African descent and calls on all member states to support the resolution to be tabled today. Supporting and voting in favor of this resolution is a roll call of conscience reflecting where member states stand in confronting racism and advancing the reconciliation of historical injustices. Mr. President, in conclusion, we should not let this day end in reflection alone, but it should mark a renewed resolve, a collective commitment to transform memory into action, injustice into equity, and pain into purpose. In doing so, we affirm not only the dignity of those who were lost, but the promise of those who carry their legacy forward. I thank you.
The call for remembrance today is a reminder to all states of their duty to uphold historical truth and ensure legal accountability. As Pope Leo stated, since apostolic times, the Church has seen the liberation of the oppressed as a sign of the kingdom of God. This mission of liberation has continued throughout the centuries through concrete actions, especially when the tragedy of slavery and imprisonment has marked entire societies. These convictions have been expressed in numerous papal documents. For example, as early as 1435, Pope Eugene IV condemned the enslavement of the inhabitants of the Canary Islands and excommunicated those who refused to free them. Subsequently, in 1888, Pope Leo XIII condemned slavery as contrary to the Christian values, recalling that God, having created man a reasonable being and after his own likeness, he wished that he should rule only over the brute creation and not be the master of man. Mr. President, the draft declaration under consideration contains a partial narrative which regrettably does not serve the cause of truth. Historical memory, when based on accurate and impartial historical information, together with education and awareness raising, plays a fundamental role in preventing the recurrence of such grave scourges of humanity. At the same time, it is important to reaffirm that under international law, modern slavery constitutes a crime against humanity when committed as a part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against a civilian population. Therefore, the Holy See reaffirms that no one should be held in slavery or servitude as set out in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Mr. President, allow me to conclude with the words of Pope Leo, who reminded us that the freedom that Christ gave us is not only interior, it manifests itself in history as love that cares for and frees us from every bond of slavery. Thank you.
I thank
of March 2026. Or the official time now, just 14 minutes past the hour 6. Live on Today Ghana News TV. We are back again into the studios for some engaging topics I ever discuss here and waba memo we be a kwaba ne aju abadumede we so bibia muti efibiano yedamase me kai mo say Today Ghana News TV we are still in our faith anniversary celebration or Yaguswa Idi. We are still on it. And to share a summary. My name is Bossy. We show Today Ghana News TV now. We are all 5 years. Forget your age and we are all 5 years. And we are still in celebration. You better must say some many nano munya butchana money tonight. I must say if you see a ne. Jumedi way soon yet Nasia, Munim Sagana home, and send some in common and I did Bremo. Now, your Sherman Penifat Nasi. So munim die ne de omu bia no de ateche won so wo akwanya se bibia wo hwe en mrebia no wo de wadwen kyerɛ ebeba ne mom ade ba akona mesho se wonya akwanya na oba ye streaming platform so of Facebook, on Twitch or any of our streaming platforms now, make sure say over share na dwumedie no akɔ akyi na wo nua bi so wo baby a summary no hono no ye station a ye ne omo ahwibum obenya bi ahwe no so di na dwen kyerɛ because won so mo ni nipa na nyansa so de eni ba kofo tirim nti wo de oba make sure you share the program for other people to get the opportunity to also contribute to their voice to what we are discussing tonight. Make I say the program is live via Twitch on the satellite, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and so who the search handle is Today Ghana News TV. But you media yedi na no be so we share. Make sure you share. Share na fa wa adun chebra. You be able kama. Fine FM ewa Chim Hemai 93.5 and also associate channel as Amri maso yasene omupia dwumedie no eko Achim Eastern region ho ne nkrabata ina no omuguso a epia eko nti dwumedie no edem live ho no saso na Kings Radio ewa Accra, Jamframa TV ewa Rara in UT region, Sekina Information Center Capital Northern Ghana, saso na Adeleman Community Information Center so Samre we are live and we are live and loud. Fans TV or Flow in the Volta region. These are the channels as I'm no omo abeka ye ho aye push dwumedie no ekwa mmembia msrew. Mesrew asrew biem. Safi na wabedwane ya. Amema wakọ aba na mekai o say unya ba dwumedie no so mpacho share na show no ntimi endra for so nchen. You know say social media has no boundaries. Enti baby a nipa no obia no benye bia hwe no so di na dwen chaba. Madam was say mobile sa amame. Now and let me take you straight to the front page of the Evening Tribune, Ghana's only watchdog. Summary no the Evening Tribune no you made you need a baby Ghana hand na the econo you need the chira yedi mu ensem eba na wouldn't say yes to the chantro pefi no cre and I ediba. So these are some of the news I make you headways. Front page. Muhammad leads Africa moral voice at UN. We and Sama one we is one of them. And never should home come Samri no. We are a Kanwasem. We are a Kanwasem. As a Panakasan. Okay, so no fees, no bribe. Next Baumia government to reform security recruitment. We Dr. Bongo. Statement to make here. No fees, no bribe. Say, what na say fees and cry, security service, I say bribe. Okay, yes, say banisa, and so mine we are banisa. Dr. Bongo Masood, assure me says about Dr. Baumia. We make sure says, I know man, Ghanaian UTM in fact, regardless of the political colors, I feel this is a laudable way if CBT may implement and Kebebwa. Court stops Akosua Sewa from organizing Daddy Lumbe's celebration of life event in Accra. And this has got to do with legend as I'm a the baby got that Lumba, new witch acquaintance and seminar the idea. Near Penia or the Kaya Akosua Sewa assembly. Nka oni papa shi akabuma mobile celebration of life. Samri court Eddie Junction at so say BBI goes be abunyai. NPP cheap cocoa propaganda will backfire. NPP cheap propaganda on cocoa. Cheap cocoa propaganda will backfire. We if you Dennis and Dana and Ekasa. Okay, so and then I think there are a lot of the stories I would want to touch on. So in the middle page of the window, see David Tribune, Ashanti slipping from NPP grip, diaspora voice backs Amwakohene site development surge. Diaspora voice, no, Samre Omuna Kamano Abum, and I'm back here, Ashanti Regional Minister Amwakohene. And I'll say, and can I say NDC no, NPP no, Omu free, Ashanti Mai free NPP in same nature say. Voting I kwama But for Osha government deploys AI X-ray gen expert machine to fight TB. We, if Dr. Grace Anyinsu Dankwa, Deputy Minister of Health, who doubles as the NP for Esikado Keten constituency, NHGono. Government deploys AI X-rays gen expert machines to fight TB. And I just say, Mama, Membono, NDC and Membono. Their healthcare da umakoma so pa na we a new technology on modern ba fight TB tuberculosis. We near Munsem Bibri or hunting. So baby, I will be an compare the Evening Tribune newspaper be that kind. Now, so who the echoes were Ghana. Whom the echoes of Mahama leads African moral voice at UN. So, Yentimin kind stories ni now were her Emma, Nemo, the evening newspaper. No, Mr. Nebo and Yet Crab, maybe I walk Ghana Habiano with me in your be now wakai. With me in your be no kind. NPP, but your end down, maybe I will be make sure say wake up bina what kind. These are some of the stories, sir. It's me a capture with the evening news tribune newspaper and Mr. Kopebina kind, a bonnet there is a meeting can catch on it, no one didn't cry. Go and read and abreast yourself, know what is happening in Ghana. Mr. Namumbo she na me found beyond makeup. Na me found Francis Consult. Na meba me penny for atena say Dr. Masoud Abungu sasuna ya can do go studio. They are ready for us to dissect and bisect all the issues and then be table for discussion. No, nti meba me penny for me engage mu na nkomana say my enko beyond makeup na me found for Francis Consult in rest here.
Welcome. Welcome to Beyond Makeup, where beauty and confidence are taken to a whole new level. Here, we pamper and take care of you like royalty. Enjoy our gentle waxing, refreshing facials, and soothing massages that melt away stress and leave your skin glowing. We also offer professional makeup services, manicures, pedicures, durable nail extensions, and perfectly sculpted ombre brows. We give you the most perfect soft lashes that highlight your natural beauty. At Beyond Makeup, every visit is more than just a service. It's an experience of care, elegance, and transformation. Locate us at Chado Last Stop or call us on 0559 933 505 or 0506 474 911. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Beyond Makeup, your journey to wellness starts here.
Oh, say yay! The African Arts, Food, Music and Culture Festival, Armenia 2026. Society, Yapa Huntim of Francis Consults, Eto Esa Afro as Bitesa, and what Ghana, any Africa, some showcase creativity, and what global stage. So we artists, fashion designer, chef, musician, and empo, cultural entrepreneur, and woman. So what the African young creativity ever the global stage ever Europe. Ya boy ya pomo atuho. Ya show registration I say. And it's 2% participating. And now on getting more information there. Any other contact in our home so +374 558 508 11 and +233 542 545 815. Following our Facebook, Ope and Sembisa Ana Bibi Piata Efire home. Ubetimi I email and so ewo African Culture Festival 2018 at gmail.com. African Arts, Food, Music and Culture Festival, Armenia 2026, made of way. Africa on display, culture without borders. Yeah, that was it.
You ni sa or for manfa on copy mo Antara Bloom. Antara Bloom event organization summary no dwumedi omudi na edem for sonko. Na dwumedi last year almost started visit Ebri, taste Ebri. Nyame adoma this year so ye call Ebri na free hill no. Na Easter ye call experience something different with the friends, our families, with our loved ones no. We tourism and festival culture summary no. Every Easter be happening every this year no ya share sonko kra nyame adoma Good Friday so at the 3rd of April no Mr. Old School Heritage Day no course den we bri Mr. who akra ne mpate mu wo Ekuapem South ne East ne West ne dey account am so yi na dey nim atrim wo ebri nyame adoma Saturday on the 4th of April no so there's a live band night experience Mr. come papa don't miss out baby I won't cry and bacho bombodi afro we know you don't have to even spend much to get to a brick who madina who are crabby biana it's just something small to get up on the hill now also no family no friends munko chile kakra no experience a brick weather no na mo enjoy a brick visit a brick na mun tasty a brick so na rep your jesse Saturday on the 4th no a basso din fit rep your jesse is on the 5th ebe kama games and night fashion show nina ebaso nina all these events are able to happen in the Ebri Botanical Gardens on the Monday no Michelle ebe ni jankasa outdoor games name artist night no headline artist daso dope nation Michelle 3 days from the 3rd to the 5th free name set no Easter Monday no Michelle just 300 cities for a family of 5 and 70 cities ticket. Just grab your ticket now, family, friends. Munko have a good time in Ebri. Antara Bloom say, visit Ebri, taste Ebri. It's Easter with Michelle. Muna yafruso wana yakojeni. Mimpeni for at nase na and then some yebe chon komono. It has got to do with what is happening now, even in the international stage, and for kasa about Ghana. Our leader, our President John Dramani Mahama, President Mahama, ECOPM UN. Before we started the show, we played some videos and it was quite inspiring. It has got some people talking. Let me give you a brief background of how the whole thing is. Now, me engage Dr. Masuda Bungu. Hey, Mr. Mume introduce mo doc. Mema akwaba. Sansuna yaw. Maka Mr. Doctor chairman for the NPP Russia branch. And they I saw Pentem Kakari Nama Mirashino doc. So I saw Doc Akwaba. Doc Akwaba. Doc Michel. Sansuna Edinambia Usu Agbe. Ekuapem South NDC Communications team member. Edinam Abeka said in the studios. Memamuina Akwaba ni Aju Ebahano. On the international stage, people are talking. Let me give you a brief background. So on the 25th of March 2026, President John Dramani Mahama, in his capacity as the African Union champion for reparations, led a historic call at the United Nations to formally recognize the transatlantic slave trade as a greatest crime against humanity. I want her to let me engage Doc on this to talk about the significance of this call that was made at the UN. About what do you call it? The supporter so far. How is it? The conversation wasn't just even centered about Ghana, but as a Black community as a whole. Doc, let's talk about the relevance of this conversation.
Okay, Lawrence, Medawase. I mean, for this opportunity, cheer, utie for baby Omovia, Michiobia. I mean, for this opportunity, cheer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You know, because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, our presentation of our United Kingdom, and on the 28th of our presentation, and Michiani say, "Sisi no or Johnny Ghana youth no me nice sequence wa me ko we dey mo fan chemetie for
Oh,
enti eh
contribution.
enti we dey brief na meka because me ko na studio me go interview or hon too we dey mo fan
Okay,
chemi
don't worry.
enti yeah John Dramani Mama eko kaya no na obia eka ho asem no me gidi say this is not the first time you're present I akasa asem no Osha you talk about the history of sorry you talk about the history of African revolution and I said you be getting independence ama Africans Ghana ya be pen Osha since Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or Omaka about the slave trade about imperialism Kwame Nkrumah can what some sa Emani Beji independence in Ghana. And the recent passing so Nana Akufo-Addo waka ho asem and Dr. Mahmoud William so and Dr. Mahmoud so call you and oka ho asem enti near your current president John Dramani Mahama Akano is in good order and I am there and I'm proud say as a Ghanaian yeah, president and no credit be no aka as a president and the foreign minister what me I decided in echo parliament Emma vote here as I make almost 153 that voted in favor of the resolution and 3 abstaining and say if 13 abstaining and 3 voting against it. So it's in good order. And Ghana took baby also Ghana as the gateway of Africa. And many say Ghana but all I can say is former president Nana Akufo-Addo can once and other president I can once and it's not that extra something new. But John Mama, let's not forget, or a communicator, and he knows how to communicate. So it's credit to him. Say, what me aka ubia eka umwasem. Say, Ghana for so be kaya. Emrebi, Emma, Nana Akufo-Addo, or France, and or can assembly, or can say, Ghana beyond aid, or can say, and you can say, Europeans ever my bushia. I was say your mum bushia and a bit my and also a trendy pa. And I'm proud. Say a president every year in year go or yes Adiano. And to be particular, I also give credit to Kujota Blackwa. He's a bold person and Oka on slow pay is why my money credit. But this is nothing new. But let's give credit to Ghana for bringing this one effort. They take credit with Ghana. That's it.
Look, I think say you've made a candid opinion because of our time, Ninti. I'll move straight to the second topic. Now, what share what before we even let you go. Now, there were na president Ekwakwaye na de and Lincoln University friends and but you shared your way ever since you came into power now. It's like you brought a new vibe and a new energy. As you've been able to manage the economy well. I fair papa born about so come. You know, in a didn't dance we are seeing now. It got people talking. And after Omubaya, I withdraw a doctorate on an idea because of his stance on the LGBT. This is what people are talking about. First of all, let's talk about the stance of the president in regards to LGBT. And secondly, you can educate us more because I want us to touch on why, as at now, the bill has not been sent, but we are still firm we are still firm when it comes to not accepting LGBT to be legalized in our country.
Lawrence me that's pa eba LBGT me obi a me wɔ Russia. And Russia for Omaka. He said no. Putin Saudi we know or can say in some phone it is from Fanchem. It's some phone pa say or no oh sorry no. No himself family is mother, father, or a woman and a man and the children and their family. And you can say family behema ni behema your family. And that's all by no by your family. And at the same thing, okay LBGT Ghana, etia your culture tradition so. Ghana ni culture actually say behema betima wari behema. And also ba betima wari behema. Enti eya Ghana nkasa ekutie ho. But Orange, let's not forget the LBGT, no, they are in advanced country. And Omu to me pa, they are powerful. Omu advanced country. And no was say kai, and they are playing bigger role. To see an LBGT, no, it has become geopolitics. And Omu feel say Omu fundamental human right. And they are very powerful in such a way that Omu ye sponsor and Esika Fonsu a woman Omu ye saadiano. And to Omu iska. And you know, sketty Nioma bebree. Sika etimiye nioma bebree. Sesi a me no okay. Ghana Parliament at times time and na council be pass it. But World Bank and the Western countries, me kind of Western countries, Europeans and America. Omoma legalize idea no. Enti eno no so mo dey force here. Say engine to me, engine to my head. But that should not influence us. Enti meniaje say Ghana Yajina so say adiano yam for so and yam for china. But I'm surprised. Say John Mama, say a man award because of your standing in tea award in your farmer. Honest also or sign adiano. And I don't know whether he's going forward, he's coming back, he's standing central, he's going left or right. Because our opposition or can one say being there, the bar ever pass it. Emma speak up and say bill so. Or no, dear, young for so the bill must pass. Since and the Lord is your 2 years, no. You who she passing bill ever pass it here. At least one day, and then my parliament are passing bill. Says here, no, the monopoly of Ghana Law School, no, and age mobium. Other universities are more law faculties and actual mutual law students, no. On betting me, I set it up extra law student, the professional law. So the answer no be here from the institution, no. For example, University of Ghana, no, on come a collegium, he become a lawyer, he be called, that person will be called to the bar, right? On my pass law, no, and to me, near Etiomo, NDC, overwhelming majority, are still to me pass law, no. I am one pa say, John Mahama, say LBGT, near my influencing you. Say NDC for MPs now more parliament or more influence or more. I want to me pass it ya me to me can because more opposition near Omukaya no and the leading vocal stubborn academy akorano I friend Jata on a lead on a kangaroo. What's a friend? Stubborn academy or a stubborn academy. Some know the stubborn academy group or more and a normal leader of parliament. But they say why on Casabio because now a year to a sort for him penny no casa says here no or by means of communication. And I didn't say young pass here, meaning no why and no Ghana for more so be say NDC for Obi and Ada on person me pass here dear no LBGT for no Marco Joe Musica because some can say yeah person pass because your Western influence here and also about almost a camera no almost Marco Jisca, one person may pass it, Lawrence. But it's unfortunate, say, come on my president now, water, or my family because of LBGT. So, say, see, an obafia, one sign it, let me show you, Bema, one sign it, yeah, media, Miss for us to say, almost LBGT for no, or my influence, or almost say, and my mom pass it, and it's no much traces sound, or my pass it, yeah, Miss Media, Mrs. Sanity.
But, Doc, was it necessary for them to reverse a only doctrine on the man?
Oh, it was not necessary because the president is a president. It's the whole majority of Ghanaians that say we don't like the LGBT. President no need to me. President is a weak because on to me force him on pass it. Kaya dia was signing so amana pass it dia. Na komu muka just someone from Mandia, kamuka say West or a Bema. What one pass it dia so on forces someone from Brand man and sign it so. enti me ankasa mint me nkasa on why ade there be on ya ade kopim say mehu say ade no parliament a pass om dia Ghana signing amana a law say yemfo LBGT ndie me man credit Lawrence. That's it.
Doc, I think the Beja Muna engage on this. If there's a chance that you join again, then let us know. Then we pick your yes. So I mean call Yao. Okay, so I'll take this.
Our friends just passed their law in Uganda. We may not go the way they have gone because our constitution is very clear as to the direction we should move. And so we'll be guided by that. Because if we pass any law against the constitution, it's unconstitutional. So we have to do that. And so what are you afraid of? If you have the whole people behind you, if God is with you, who can be against you? And if God says, please go into the wilderness, multiply and fill the world, that is God giving you that command. If somebody says, please don't multiply, how can that person be strong? I don't only speak this way in Ghana. Even at the last meeting we attended in IPU at Bahrain, anybody who listened to my speech, there were sentences on this matter. Luckily, maybe because it's a Muslim country, they applauded me. If it's somewhere else, they will be asking questions. As the Vice President just did, is it yesterday? I mean, these things should not be tolerated. That is undemocratic. What is democracy? That somebody else will have to dictate to me as to what is good and what is bad? Unheard of. Because we have decided to devalue ourselves and go a-begging. Come on. We have more than enough. God has created more than enough for every person. It's just because you are looking at somebody else's share, not yours. We have enough in the world. The bill will be passed. This is the word to His Excellency the President. There is no way he can intervene. That answer he gave. That is now before Parliament. And when he gets to a stage that he will come in. Hey, please. This is legislation. This is not execution. Wait until we pass it and then we direct you to execute it. That is why you come in. That is why we are representatives of the people. So in terms of law, which is part of policy, we finalize it. And then the executive now have the authority to implement it, to execute it. Let's get this clear. Once this bill is before here, he is not in charge. I am in charge. I hope the U.S. Vice President is not yet gone.
We through video a boy. He is not in charge. I am in charge. I'm quoting the Speaker of Parliament, right? Many Ghanaians are talking. In fact, one of the questions Amian Kasana Ekosomagim say, if the president it's me a firm enough, it's me a bold enough. Eddie only doctorate now to so meaning say doctorate now no demand, it was a way of luring him to say yes. If it was a way of trying to drag him to say yes, we accept. Now with me ages are about body at all. Now I FM I say oh dabi say ka we nkwa de ne Ghana, we are not ready for this. They say it was a trap. And so, why is it that still bill no yintimi pass here? Why is it that still now bill no yintimi impasse here? What then let's stop here as Ghanaians? Then let's stop here as Ghanaians. Then yintimi impasse bill no. Or therefore, this is a serious issue, right? In fact, personally, president, we are all applauding the president for a bold decision make. Now, so it doesn't end there. In Siwa, I'm expecting say by now, no, by now, no, nanka bill ni pass dada. Nanka by now, bill ni pass dada. At the time, Sam George, Honorable, was very vocal on this. As Ghanaians as we are, we say we are a Christian country, even though that's not what it is. But say na say Ghana a Christian country. I didn't know entertaining bill that them up to now. I'm painful to me signing. What is preventing us? What is stopping us? Is it because, and is it true that the more pass a bill now, there are some aids that we are not going to get? And the press now. And the press said there are some international collaborations that is going to cease. Is it true? What is stopping us? For me, in as much as I applaud the president for a bold decision making, it still doesn't tally. It still doesn't tally. If you are not ebe na se embra na ese yem pass no embra ni ntimi pass a na ese kwaya na e bai. That is the problem here. This is the questions I brought my dream in TSS. Or therefore, I'm giving you opportunity to join in tonight's show. And Mami Wajinche on the program. In fact, topics me are discussing and who are kunya. And today I'm going to make sure that every message be over send the piano. In fact, it's high time we start picking calls on the show. Maybe we'll think about that and try and fix you in. We'll see about that and fix you in. Because there are some people who are itching to talk. Maybe I sometimes typing no, a long mama. A long mama. Why? Said Bill, during the time of the NPP, a lot of things were said, a lot of voices were raised, and up till now, 2 years into the administration of the NDC, it still baffles. Anyways, before I engage Yao in the studio, no, let me see if I've got some messages on Facebook or on Twitch. Right after that, no, I will involve Yao in the conversation. Na share the echo. Let me see if I've got some messages on Facebook. Or for my car said, you know, there's still no crime live on Today Ghana News TV. Oba kaya mo internet na so a. Ana sentin time na so a. Mesere o pa so be share dwumedi no. Na afufo so a mo hwe no. Afufo so enye bia share no mo de o mo adwencha bebum. John Mahama is the man of the moment. Ghana and Africa are very proud of you. Greetings from Amsterdam, Holland. With NDC Diaspora Union, one eba. But that's it. Yeah, that's it. Nah, I say Frimpong Baby says, God richly bless President John Dramani Mahama of this initiative. He is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah II, watching from Akusi. With Frimpong Baby and the boss say, Yamisha John, Yeman John Dramani Mahama na. I saw only Kwame Nkrumah II. Ibinya no penso. Ya yimbe Kwame Nkrumah no representing. Mavis Watson says Ghana is shining again. In fact, Ghana is shining again. Ampa. Saying that Sekesepa Nkwama paying John Dramani Mahama. Lady Mao says watching on Twitch from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm very much proud to be an African and for that matter a Ghanaian. Greetings to Dr. Abongo and the whole show crew. Bacho ina that's Lady Mao. Nko so ahwe Monshare Jumediano. And let's show now, we want a wider audience. We want everybody's voice to be heard. Into your mama Kunja, make sure you share to your people, your friends, and loved ones. Where if it's a Kappa family, or say the USA University should keep their award. I say Munsom award in the Mamonje. We keep our John Mahama. We are very proud of our culture and identity. Watching from Jumaponia Kufudia. Sikapaya that's what it US for they say award did the bank move to them. Now foot bong sa na yemfa John Dramani Mahama sa. Na as Africans here we are very proud of our culture. Jamframa TV says good evening, watching from Rara in the UT region. John Dramani Mahama is the hope. Jamframa TV for them. Rara for more to say. Mr. Mo, mon share you made na enko chiripa and then show no there. Me here will be agent on board. Me here will be agent on board. I say well spoken, Dr. Abongo. I drop my heart for President John Mahama, watching from Suhum in the eastern region. Kweku yebu mo ti say, but kweku mon share you made no. Na LGBT one sama and dey yedi enkomo no. It's a serious topic. Na ubi afara jin chambra. Fremo says watching from Manchester, who God bless John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. Yamisha ubi a ordinary na doing eba. Ya Edinam Owusu communications team member ewe Kuapem South NDC. I didn't know joining and na. Let me go straight to Yao. Yao Akwaba. Yao.
Yo, ebusianfo majo yada obi biara se ene de isu etumi ehye bio. Yo, minua beje wo so.
Koso.
Oh, ebiapem sa atade boko. Enam omampen John Dramani Mahama amemwo papa. Ene honorable Lorisha George wonu ni nyuma pa. Ene ye MC honorable Paul Osain. Ene NDC amenyoku a ya tumi aboabo ya ho ahwe se Kuapem sa betumi afa ne tuma pa frenti no. Hada di bibia boko ha.
Nyame adom yeso ye hoye. Na nyame adom a inste me bemu ebri matese obe hosti menti. Me ne me friends ni madofo na ye ba. Munye ntum na ye na ye di Istanbul. Yaw, I think you are preview to the topics I discussing in May. Now earlier on we started with the John Dramani Mahama. And some of them were UN or the two jack. I must have made it be mining Ghana na no say man. And these are some of the things I discussing. Now as Bibini, as Ghana President Emekisa, we just want to have your take on the significance of the caller John Dramani Mahama Ghana Mampeni Echo Meki. I want your take on it as Bibini.
Medase. Na yeka reparation resolution a ya pempi no esese yetumeti ni amebi ase. Why the call? What was the necessity for this? Iti ni eti ehu hia na esese yetumi emeki sa call we trace back from history. Because we use scientific approach to understand the modern system. Let's say yetumi go back. Some 1800 years ago, meaning says slavery was very dominant within the system. Now, and you say status apa because you can say social studies simple. During our previous forefathers' days, we were in communal system. The communal system enables us to practice persistent engagement. But during 1884, one Otto von Bismarck, German Chancellor, Echo Berlin, and they were able to divide the continent of Africa. And these are some of the emergence that started the slavery system. And within the slavery system, young Mampeni, Jodromani Kai said there were about 13 million people. Actually, the figure was 12.6 million. It is at 12.6 million profui. Yes, say, answer the Ubenya Unipa Baku, Axeno, say, wouldn't echo slavery. It is a Ukunipa 3. It is at 12.6 and I said 30 million or kind of crown. That is not the issue. The issue is that this 12.6 and I said 30 million times 4 people, you multiply it by times 4, you will get 50.4 million. How? This is a huge catastrophe. 50.4 million people are that they were used without their consent, without no paid labor, unsafe labor, and this is the color we are giving to international world. If we say human rights exist, na say kasi e pese ye boa na kedimami kedi amebu na international trade ni sanya mani na ku edima na me gidi say the call was right, and now ayetumia passes our resolution. It gives a step further to probe and look at what quantify for a reparative justice, what exactly commodified for a justice, whether it is cash, whether it is other activities. Until now, it has opened the floor. Now we are affirming the truth and adopting a route for reparative justice. All these things have exposed our legacy of inequality and racism. And this is key. For countries that we want to move forward, we want to progress, we need to acknowledge we can't change the past, but we can work with the information of the past to correct our present and move forward as a nation. Intermediate did say, as a papa, by let's say NPP for no say, a Kufado starting 2023. Oh, Ebushafo. Honorable John Dramani Mahama, Okasana Kasan, Omeki emphatic say this call started 2 decades ago. So 2 decades ago, how can you give credit to a talking government that does not act? But here we have a visionary leader acting upon his rules and regulations. And I think this is a feather in the cap to the statesmanship of our current president John Dramani Mahama. And immediately says, "Same way in Africa, for you now, now we share among one to me supporting Israel, Argentina, the United States. Now it's a say boy and cocoa. Sanyama we say boy and cocoa. Say yeko yenimuno. Adie biara ebi to me abua ama Africa. Yetu me agina brade. Say nipa ba kono. Immediately say yes sanyama na ebe boy ni yako yenimu."
Obinso say, yes, the call was right, just like you intimated now. I beg him. Why do we have to bring it back? And what can we do? Say if it is right, Kampuna, as we are going back talking about the past, what benefit will it even bring?
Sometimes this is the right moment for us to discuss that benefit. It is a step-by-step approach. Now we wanted the world to acknowledge that indeed something serious has been done and a grave, and disadvantage has been caused to the African continent. So Sisiana, passes our resolution. Now we can go in, say what is due. Say can carry and say as a reparative justice. Are we looking for money? Which I believe is not the way forward. Other things, do you know? Say, England, the King of England, ceremonial, sir, some I did not all the call around here, they are all made of gold, pure gold. Some go to the African coast. Those gold were from Cape Coast. It is a yes, reproductive. I think say it is a right. I will question for some of these things, and this is the opportunity. As the call has come, I think we'll move a step further now to quantify or commodify what actually is near SF.
Yaw awmano article kakra na yaw epa chemu ina ne say to be able to appreciate a baby and now to be able to know where you are heading towards, no, you need to appreciate your past. That is the importance of our history now. Yeah, I think you are back on the line. Yeah.
But are you?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead with the point. Yeah. Okay. So it is very important as Africans to know our history. Yeah, if you are back, you can just make your point. It is very important to know our history as Africans. So that you are wedding country mono. If there's any ceremony cry UK, the president international na say chemu if Africa. Abrofo di ekawo omudi kasa na kenye ne Trump esaki blacks in our America. Because if you look at the Western world, and now they build the Western world to make the Western world who and what they are today, are all blacks who made it possible. And you can trace from history up to now. Even when you are in the States, who are America, look at all the great singers are America, well, most of them are blacks. So the America FM, so the UK FM, and some other part of the Western world FM, it was the toil of the black man. Slavery. So if the president is making this call now, just like you rightly mentioned, it is a time to quantify the outcome. And I don't know what the compensation will be. And this is why it is important that tonight you join our show. Now, so far, I doing Chebra. Now, because the nation there, the topics you are handling are very critical topics, crucial ones. I'll be very pleased. The LGBT topic is a very important topic. And what we are discussing today as Africans, appreciating our history, knowing where we came from and where we are heading towards, is also necessary. It's important. If you join us online, please, I appreciate that you've joined, but don't be selfish. Share you media nona into me and quite train up for so in your pine and for one number two, yeah, can Nanyansa ni back for trim. Yeah, you are back on the line. Yeah, you are back on the line. You are making some points. Yeah, what's the maker?
You, it's not me say yes, share, but for you.
To also,
it's me say yes, share, sir, adia, say, among yina behu, sir, adia yayi, say 25th March of every year, piano, a International Day of Remembrance for the injustice, for the racism, for the inequality that have been perpetuated on the African continent. Mind you, some of when went and worked in farms, hard labor, they didn't pay them anything. Our forefathers worked for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. Build establish it. So American research organizations, other places are. You see blacks there. You see Africans there. I don't want to mention country by country, but it is about African transatlantic slave trade. And it is a big issue. It's me where they say African country beer all by this and I'm surprised say politics. This is not about politics. This is about human rights and human to take it into consideration. It is the way forward is that now the world has accepted this, the UN has accepted this, and the way forward is that how are we going to set the models kwan bɛn so na yɛbɛfa den na ɛkyerɛ sɛ mmerɛ dodoɔ ahe na ebetumi akyerɛ sɛ ebetumi ayɛ saa reparatory justice yi, and what really would be the justice. I think this is a conversation as we also kind of as I say countries no African Union and etumi ehwe say ombetumi aye ni na etumi asobedi na say na ye kind of as a visionary leader no we think say yema President Mahama Bo say wetumi to sa na mo yi na ni come back no say na kind no say this is the time for take off no. I think the takeoff was in the right direction, and this direction is going to propel. No wonder, anyone wants to say now African Union has been. We will go on anonymous as the chair.
Doc, yeah, that's there. What back? Who say? I think the previous president who came from your government, NPP, and so making way. You saw how passionate you was talking about this particular issue. Look, are you trying to make politics out of this?
No, I'm not trying to make politics out of it. I'm trying to put it on the historical perspective as it has been. And intina Misha say no, man shall say from MPP. Me can say call me time cry. No, sorry.
Don't worry.
Call me time no. Now almost fighting for the same thing. And that is why they even fought and they gained independence. Right. The enemies are the bar say Oshe Kufuor timer or no so okan wansem. And Oshe the current issue near John Mama Koye Nana Akufo-Addo kan wansem said time has shown that they should pay representation to Africans, especially during the slave trade. It is something that yeah. Into so kaya. Yeah, it's an initiative from Africans now. Omudi slave trade now. To see any baby now, but the citizens in be it Brazil, be it USA, be it Canada, returning. And the government yes approve of returning. This is all the same issue. But never be kind and say John Mama and Kujota Black. They shouldn't make it as if say no initiative at the end of first time. And now me person make it the point say and no initiative. Initiation no started long time. And typically say on be tria African Sikano. Nana Akufo-Addo and started it should be our be an original Google paying of representation to Africans for the slave trade. Google Nana Akufo-Addo videos are okay. SSI no crown organizing or Africa Ghana and okay. Either to become Peace Hotel. No Ghana no okay. Or made this a statement to say a time as soon. So say Europeans now use Africans. But yes, slave trade time as so compensate here for doing that what happened. And I mean I can say maybe President Nabaso. Because at the end of the day, Ghana and or they took the landline. Man, fact say NDC and NPP. Can make say NDC and NPP there. And the second say make say down budget tradition. Down budget tradition. Energy Ghana is CEO. I didn't make us out. If you call me Kuruma, yeah, down and inviting money bed join UGCC. Or join UGCC as a general secretary and or team Hong Kong CPP and or DG independence. Etika UGCC a danko buja komu invite komu kuma maning ba Ghana ko da tu abuchiri ibi okobaya kokrokra abuchiri ko mba Ghana kra intermeka say man fanya politics so we politics every day NPP budget credit every time NPP because we share the political history of Ghana you can't take away UGCC and UGCC you can't mention UGCC without mention Dr. Kwame Nkrumah without mention Dr. Kwame Nkrumah without mention JB Dankwa without mention Jacob Lamte, without mention Akufo-Addo, I Nimba, ever president, on so I present pen. You can't talk about UGCC without mention these big six. That is Jacob Lamte, Jacob Lamte, so ever yeah, NPP party chairman. So Eba creditor, Eba say African fight for African freedom, say fighting against the imperialism, NPP, they be a better first. But I'm not doing politics about it. Intermediate credit, Emma, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I'm starting credit, my president, somebody Ghana, I bet took BBA down. Because Ghana didn't akosro. It's about Ghana. If you go outside the international world, it's not about NDC, NPP, it's about Ghana. And I'm saying, say, I dare see, UN, it's about Ghana. So I give credit to whoever presented Ghana there, and whoever put Ghana's name high, I give credit to that person.
Doc, you earlier touched on the significance of this particular call by the president on that international platform. Now, let's look at some of the benefits Phyllis said that this call can bring to Africa, Ghana and Africa at large.
You've spoken to your boy, Peter. So that's Peter.
I'll go back to you. Hello.
Yeah, look,
Yes.
we've earlier touched on the significance of this particular call on the big international platform. Now let's talk about the benefits we can get after this call.
Yes. So, your country and that international level, you raise issues. That country supports you. First of all, who raise the level of your country credibility, and at the same time, so among for irrespective country, no, who say some time ago, who took let me set you that example. Time when I call Russia first, 2010. Go for Bissem same frame. You can say Ghana, it don't be say na ho airport ho. You can say na airport in Ghana, no who say me then na me to me ba. Me nanti na. Even to me be say story building wa Ghana. Some silly questions. Ebi mo okra mo ti Ghana din da. Ebi mo be football no mo di ti Ghana din. But at the end it say no. Go say Ghana din bet trendy. So BBC Ghana trendy. If you see na Ghana trendy. Inti Emma. I'm off the country Ghana. And the two, once who the country Ghana, and who acquire corner, investors, and international institutions, I did beyond the Ghana Biano. About said, no, this is a country that the people in the country are well enlightened. And if you are enlightened, they be almost rule. Because if you are enlightened, people are afraid to cheat you. Almost you, right? It's a boy coin be so in the kind one, a boy my investors. Some person invest to Ghana. Almost say no, Ghana is a country that knows the rules and the regulations. Ghana is a country that on more confidence, international world, BBC, they can go to the international platform to speak about it. And everybody, the investor confidence, some member Ghana by then, every investing. And the two, so it will sell the name Ghana on the international level. And a three, it will let other developed countries respect the country Ghana. Because we should say USA. First, come here somewhere, make us say, oh yeah, more head. Who just has something by but neglect you. Who just has something by sabotage you. Now Ghana is beyond that. So it is not telling the developed world, say Ghana and Africa is capable of managing its own affairs. As Dr. Kwame Nkrumah echoed some time ago that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it's totally linked to Africa freedom, right? And we are fighting for the freedom of Africa. Say they should pay compensation for the slave trade, and they should take the slave trade as the greatest crime against humanity, right? So Sana,
All right. Mamemfa messages be so far no but and then me din ka say.
you see, no, beside me say, Chairman, what made Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to leave UGCC? It's simple. You see, when we formed the UGCC, they were still fighting for independence. But in Kwame Nkrumah's view, no believe he said he caught slowly, right? That is the history that we know. And he was saying that self-government now, while the UGCC, even can say they were saying that self-government within the shortest possible time, right? So it's almost the same. And then Emma Kwame Nkrumah, echo forming CPPP. But that is not even the issue here. The issue here is UGCC make Kwame Nkrumah who he is in Ghana because some of them didn't buy and obey a general secretary. And no didn't who did. I can say me say NPP is making me who I am. Make some NPP. Omoko Promiko NPP. BBI NPP. You can't take it. So Yami Wana Bia. Yakofa Samba, na me ko bibia, but me the NPP na metna. E wa na me de me wo NPP mu. Me free NPP that because I'm a loyal member. But you call me Kuma or me free UGC echo for me in CPP. So as such, being tina a money free hormone, I believe say it's just the ideology or the time to gain independence. If you say as I'm working with the team, I was walking slowly, so I wanted to go alone. And maybe sana money
Mami acknowledge yaw aloya. Mami acknowledge Robert Kimpe. Samson na Ghana himfie Robert Dennis Andaba yaw bio. Mpacho me hu ina mu make sure say na dwumedi no mu share manako echi. Na 5 years in the end man na hwabom. Yaw is back on the line. Doc I think Majo Wajun Chema main ko yaw so na yen touch on the issue of LGBT. In fact, like I've intimated earlier, I'm very proud of the president said ultimately turning down this offer because I felt the honorary doctorate honorary was just a trap for him to say yes. And for him to lay down, for him to reject this kind of offer, just to say no, it's a step in the right direction. Now, so questions are Ebimu, Ebisa, critical thinkers, Ebisa. If the president can denounce this, if the president can reject the honorary doctorate, now after LGBT, we are not so that parliament are to be passed. What is stopping us? What is the problem? Because I say, Obi Kaze, as I got that address, I didn't know say umpe, I dare to maybe abon say mama. And so still, what is stopping? In fact, the NDC now has the majority of parliament, and you make KBN final. Then I'm LGBT, anti-LGBT bill on that so that day. What is stopping you from passing? Yeah.
Okay. Me that's baby. Say with me highlight it. Say maybe there was a proposal for that. There was a private proposal for that, and I believe the proposals take effect, and it was due for the government to assent. It went through parliament. It went through all the processes. Seneca Parliament, the executive arms of government, the president then, Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa, Obetumi assent keke, and I think it was rejected. We should be point blank to ourselves. It was rejected, and in the rejection, those who were not in favor of it, today, senior parliament processes, that bill has expired. So if it has expired, there is a need for another private member bill, and we are all citizens. We are saying that the discussion for LGBTQ is not even the point we should go there. As an African country, we have values and morals, our belief system. We believe that LGBTQI is not even a topic we should be able to discuss. Gender, as they say, is a social constructed system, phenomenon. If we believe, say, we are people that certain things are enshrined, it's just like telling a child, say, don't go and do this. Immediately you say, don't go and do this. That is what the child will go and do. It's better to say, you don't even bring the don'ts. And that is what we are standing on. As a social democrat, we believe LGBTQ is not even something that we should be even discussing. Because the more you talk about it, the more you are kind of like in people's consciousness. What you are saying. And we are saying that per our belief system, our values, we don't appreciate that. It is not a model, as I say to me, and one, we have been emphatic about it. The late President Jody Bansatamells made it evidentially clear. Now our president has also, re-emphasized, say, it is not something he's going to consider. And we in the NDC, we believe it's not something. That is why, if the NPP said they want to, why don't they make a private member bill? They should also put in a private member bill request. Or when they put it on, it will not work. We don't hijack the system like they have done per their actions and reactions that we have experienced over the 8 years. We don't hijack system. The legal system is free for everybody to use it. It is not even a case about say why is it that you can say to me make what would I say we should put in a request for that. We don't want to talk about that because it's not part of us. And we are saying that it goes back to the capitalist system to abuse the ordinary person. But these are the same people who are chanting on human rights. So what is a human right? What benefit is a human right that you are going to practice something at the end is going to have a repercussion on your life? And to the optics say, yeah, open what you want to use your sexual life for. It is to your own your choice. How can your choice, something that just like say poisoning yourself, would you allow a person to poison himself knowing that he said he wants to poison himself or she said she wants to poison himself just because you want it, so we should allow you to do that? No. You see, these are the fundamental questions. As I say, people are not going there. They are going around the bush trying to use other things to cover up. And I think so going forward, the LGBTQ, we have made a stand. And the stand is that no matter what, and to even talk about it, say, Obi Lincoln University, I will draw doctorate degree. Why are they giving doctorate degree? We must understand the fundamentals that it was what JDM stand for. That is what they have recognized. So when to me ending into me and Juma, into me and then when the chairman saying, they wouldn't even know him. Would they have known him? And I think, sir, it stands out all. Say, wait to me, Gina, baby, or Gina, na kase, wait here, and ya dear, me shake him home. And I think, sir, it's a feather in the cap, as I always said. He has been leading as an example, and this is the kind of statesman that we always want. And I think it's a role model for the youth. These are the kind of leaders that we want. Just like how Kwame Nkrumah stood up. Just like how John Ibrahim stood up, just like how J.J. Rollins stood up. And these are values of a social democratic leadership. So we are happy. And we are saying that this is a sound warning to all other people. And I believe that right now, there should even be a legal system that wouldn't make people say certain things. Because as you know, last our previous president, or say, oh, a time is bound to happen. He doesn't have anything to do with that. Like seriously, even the Bible said, train up a child the way he should go, that when he grows or she grows, they will never depart from it. So why should you leave everything to upstairs? It doesn't work like that. When we are modeling a nation, you are nurturing people. There is some rules and guidelines. You see, these things you are infringed upon. This thing, don't do it. Culture is our heritage. So if to say offense back to then. If you don't believe in your culture, then why do you promote it? This is part of our culture. Gender is part of culture. So if we really want to keep our culture and build a society into the future that we want to build, I believe LGBTQ is a no-no. And we don't even have to talk about it. But anytime it comes, you have to abash it. You have to clear it off. We don't need to give room for people to even talk about, discuss it. It's just like murder case. It's just like war. These are the things. So indirectly, these things have severe repercussions.
They have severe repercussions. Just like discussing war, discussing coup. That is the meaning of LGBTQ plus. You know, we are African system that we cherish African values. And there is no way. Systems change, systems are dynamic. Yes, we believe that. But the dynamism is supposed to conform to sustainable livelihood, healthy livelihood. That is what we are talking about. It's immediate. Say, they should go and put in a private member bill, just like somebody did at our time. And let's see how it goes. Why are they so sitting quiet? Why are they sitting quiet? A doctor said, I don't know my idea. I want to be put in private member bill. Okay,
yeah, somebody also want to ask, I think you made mention of a number of person over here. You don't even talk about it at all. Now, somebody will ask, if you've been firm enough to reject it, why is the bill? Because it's one of the things that your government in power, in opposition then, really used as a campaign to say LGBT buy and sharp. I mean, what is stopping you and what's causing the delay?
I believe so.
In the first place. So I didn't think that you pass a bill, no, in order to not entertain some of these things campaign in the first place. But if there's a bill, nobody will even dare talk about it. But why do we, there's a sort of laid back that what's causing the delay?
Yeah, so for that, near me, Dina, you did say to me, pass a bill, and I am in support of that. As to take the legal steps, we leave that to the parliamentarians, and so I think it's also part of the advocacy. We could be able to champion our individual, interest to our public interest. It I believe that me anything able to me I'm making a benchmarker na LGBT I think that it is a way forward. I am in for it, but I mean, let with other we leave it for the public. So we are looking forward, say, probably sooner than later, maybe somebody could put in a bill and we could be able to pass it through the legal structures and it will be assented on. I'm hopeful. I mean, we have not ended our term, and I believe with the percentage, the super majority that we have, I think gradually, things move step by step. Actually, LGBTQ, it is not part of our campaign promises. We are consciously to deliver our campaign promises to the people of Ghanaian. When we reach how far we've gone, we can consider other secondary issues because we are not interested in that. We are interested in alleviating the poverty that has been rendered, the unemployment that this government, through the debt restructuring and the overbonding and the whatever haircuts, the IMF injunctions in utility bills. Those are the things that are primary to the governance currently. And I think we as a country, we are our interest, our main interest is in that. Whether we make an LGBT bill or not bill, will it bring money to the people? Will it create employment? No. The big question is no. So we are focusing the first things first. So the resetting Ghana agenda, it is to provide and make access to other things between individuals. If people are working, if people have food to eat, if people have work to do, if people can enterprise, who is going to talk about LGBT for what? For what purpose? If resources are utilized, the goal that we are mining now on Lancers goes now to say cancer say to me my brother, we all acknowledge it's not about LGBTQ. I mean, these people are just using certain things to polarize the system, but we are very cautious and we are certain when we are able to deliver on our promises, the 24-hour economy, We are able to pay the first year students. We are able to give sanitary pads to the less privileged ladies who are not able to get her. All these things, Jumara is able to sponsor people. The coders corps is able to provide. We are in a modern system that we believe that ICT is the key to go, and AI is making tremendous impact. So we believe that these things are fundamental things. And it's a basic necessity. We are more concerned about these things. And at the end, I believe, say, LGBT or no LGBT, Ghana will still prosper. And the people will be happy with the governance that they have.
Aren't you contradicting yourself here? Because you stood here and made mention of how you don't joke with your culture, your norms and traditions, your values. So if you say we the you are just focused on making sure that you deliver your campaign promises. Don't you think you are contradicting yourself, or you want to in a way derail from the conversation?
No, so what I say is that the LGBTQ was proposed. We were against it during the late Professor Tamel's time. We didn't capture that in our destiny, but the NPP captured it and even brought it as a comprehensive education system. And we said, no, that cannot be possible. We have several issues boiling down on the economy. They are supposed to fix it, not LGBTQ. Just, do you know why? Probably they need assistance for certain things. They couldn't, from taxation to production, couldn't produce enough, but rather went in for loans and were depending on foreign states and entities to get loans and bonds and taxes and other stuff. But we are saying that Africa must make good use of its resources. The people that we have, how well are we going to mobilize resources for our people? When our people are okay and set forth, these decisions will not be a topic to this. So I don't believe I'm contradicting myself. I'm not contradicting myself. But all I'm just saying that there are priorities upon priorities and there are necessities. But as long as you see, the funny thing is that they had all the opportunity. They had the opportunity just to sign, assent, they couldn't do it. So now what we are going to do is that we have to go back. And we are saying that we have to go back. We have a 4 years mandate, which LGBTQ was not part of our 4 years mandate. If the NPP has 38 or 37, if they could be able to put in a bill, private member bill, and foster it and process it, the legal process will take action. That's what I'm saying. We don't stampede the legal system. We give way for things to flow. So if they are able to work things out, I believe the system will work for them. But we are not concerned on that. But we also believe that we are adhering to our values and our beliefs. So we will not infringe upon, trying to adopt LGBTQ into our curriculum system. Like, seriously, who does that to a nation? Nation workers. You can't say you love your people when you initiate things that will not help them. And this is not just the first one. There are other bills and things that was not in the interest of the Ghanaian populace. So I think in the right direction. We are here, we as a government is working to make sure that we provide the basic needs of the people. Other things will be considered as we move along. We still have 2 years to go.
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to go for a quick commercial break. So this is still the Premier Live on Today Ghana News TV. I'm in trouble.
Oh, say yay! The African Arts, Food, Music and Culture Festival, Armenia 2026. Society, Yapa Huntim of Francis Consults, Eto Esa Afro as Bitesa, Ewa Ghana, any Africa, Sabe showcase creativity, Ewa global stage, so we artists, fashion designer, chef, musician, Anna Empo, cultural entrepreneur, any woman, so what the African young creativity, every global stage, ewo Europe. Ya boy ya pomu ato ho. Ya show registration ase. And it's 2% participate. And now on getting more information there. Any other contact in ewa humachu so +374 558 508 11 and +233 542 545 815. Following our Facebook ope ensembisa ana bibibia da efa ye ho. Ubetimi a email and so ewo African Cultural Festival 2018 at gmail.com. African Arts, Food, Music and Culture Festival, Armenia 2026, made of way. Africa on display, culture without borders. Yeah, that was it, baby.
7. It is still the Kremlin live on Today Ghana News TV. And they may say the media did no topics in your hot and I would want you to also add your voice. Please, if you are on a streaming platform, especially on Facebook, Pacho, share the link. Share the link. Make sure you share the link. Share it to your friends, loved ones, everybody of interest. Now, when you send your message, I'll be so glad to read it out. But now I've had some of the messages coming in, and I'll take this few minutes to read some of them out and also continue the conversation. I think it's getting more interesting and more hotter. Okay, so Nyami Bill says, no LGBT in Ghana. President Mama should be firm and strong watching from Nkwanta in the Oti region. We, if Nyami Abi more say LGBT or Ghana had a lie. Emma Sunday, Emma Suchina. Na President Mama Unjina Brani. Bewa Kudu for Tina Brani. Also, share if in Nkwanta in the eastern, in the Oti region. I beg your pardon. Sansona Dennis and Daba says, good evening, Yabua. I'm also doing monitoring from Accra. Dennis, that's a make sure say what share am I now Jamaican intimate page. I wait for Robert to say the government of Ghana is doing justice for all Africans. God bless John Dramani Mahama, President. Keep it as say Ghana party. John Dramani Mahama or the Bia Guna Kaisu. I'm said the Bibini Ghana ni Hubetoye, Yamishan, and become cousin. John Dramani Mama is the second Kwame Nkrumah. He's the face of Africa, and I think Makai we every operator to Benado say more fire, my brother Edinam. So share fee we Robert King BC or share Sansona Penny so Aji Brown the program has been interesting. We are still here with Yao and to be on the best of the so now. Now, whether it's the NDC or whether the NPP did not do it, the NDC is now in power. Some of the wrongs are NPP, is the reason why you are in power today. Going forward, what should Ghanaians expect? Because as Ghanaians or Africans as we are, I wouldn't say the customs, the values, and norms, you're holding in a high esteem in fact to two from Gra and Palasoba. Now, no matter how hard we talk about it, I'm sure I go through Kolabisasu, and you don't know, and you can't tell the generation. Some other countries have been firm, say, Omudia LGBT, and some come once because we're there and I'm from him to say, you can't send me to you. We bet it won't come back. But Omwa Bani out, Chesamuchi Krampuna, you find yourself wanted. Going forward, what should the Ghanaian expect from your government?
You with us, baby. Jidi say sene amidi kanka ye no akonye biara ye betumi afa so a ye be make sure say ye be ka ho asem ye ka ho asem empo say ade ye chiwade de be ye chiwade a ye emra no betumi aka no pese say LGBTQ there we wouldn't be able to practice it, we wouldn't be able to engage in the conversations. I think that is also a step in the right direction. So Senamika, we are still in government and we are looking forward that at the right time, when it's necessary, we'll be able to put that forward. Currently, the government is focused on the various inequalities, disadvantage, debt, or how inherited from the past governance. We are concerned in making sure we deliver our basic necessities, give work for our youth, make sure that our women are treated well, make sure that the schools have the necessary facilities to be able to operate the free senior high school, not the kind that we inherited. Into going forward, all these things are normal when the system is working. You see, the irony of the system is that because people don't want the system to work, there will be a lot of challenges that will come up. But when the system is working, some of these things, people will not even give an ear to some of these things. Look at the cocoa sector, for example, like this. Engineer can say the LGBTQ case is a no-no for us. And we are looking up to government to make sure that as long as the president is firm, institutions and structures will also affirm it and be grounded so that there will not be any alarm, any cause of alarm in the future. I am certain that the John Dramani Mahama that we know, the nation builder, the reset agenda, the takeoff president will be able to do that for us. I believe so.
Okay. Communications team member for the NDC South. Yeah, it is now we call for position B.
Patroyu, you go so a registration na new member registration. Sunday and Monday 31st and a baby. Inti ejuma no de yebeye na so se eguso aye prapra kwemu ehwe se yebatututu niama answer because ejuma no koye na senkrofo na wonyom kwa koye ejuma no omo hyere anya nkofo betumi aboa na ama ejuma na akofo a esamba ba ye adeso a inti position de yebekopa na ha nso na be ye first place a yebeda na bi timjiri se next time a yebesenge hye bi o no amim se enche bia no be ba be sa position ni betu kwan betu abonting. Actually, there are two positions I'm actually working on. I'm still doing my research and making sure we serve the people right and the people get what they deserve so that their vote is not wasted like the previous years. And people take things for granted. But we believe that we have youth and the leaders are now going forward. We are accountable for the people. And that is the transformation that took place. Yesterday, we put our grounds on the NDC, power, and a Krapim South for over 24 years. Honorable Lawrence George Wonu, it me fan to my fly. Now, one day a woman say we are doing amazingly well. So some of these successes and some of the path that we have started chatting. The idea you say maybe to me Abuayen. And so now they can taste a breeze, live a breeze, enjoy a breeze. It's coming live this Easter. And the Easter, the Niani Mountains. Easter be any baby, Niani Mountains. We will be welcoming everybody to every mountains. And more of the achievements are NDC, Honorable Lawrence George Wonu. And now within the municipality, so Honorable Osayo Fe. Also, there are a lot of structural changes and our policy changes. We want to serve. So we are capable and we are ready. At the right time, our positions will be made public.
Right. Thank you for your time this evening. Did you say next week? Africa
Na ebi also no Mr. Mimidichia Emma incoming youth commander Epiapem South. Abdodo ana ni Brahima or incoming youth commander. Ono die I ready. It's proper kwemu say obetumi esisa agina no. Na wetumi abu ambebu no a lot of challenges. And I think say we are the people who can stand in for them and be able to address that challenges. And he's a very capable, strong, agile, prudent man. Very, very versatile and friendly, and very, very knowledgeable too. And he's a grassroots man. And I think that a grassroots will be favored and will be happy to see him lead the constituency as a youth organizer.
Thank you. It's been an honor having you in the studio. Yeah.
I'm also grateful.
Other social channels and most of the comments nearby. God richly bless you. Let me take this opportunity to also say a big thank you to my producer, director, my boss, Mr. Seth Adi. And you see when you name so they call Benny now, say never pay. Come sure say everything will be possible. A big thank you to you, sir. Nyame Aduma next week will be coming away with another insightful and interesting episode of No Crime Live on Today Ghana News TV. Meeting Lawrence Apini about Ocean Baby Abudi Namajo so it is 46 minutes past 7 and then I say appointed. But don't worry, we'll come back again next week Thursday with an interesting topic to discuss. Please don't go nowhere. Make sure you stick to us and all of our programs, be part of it and share your view on it. Thank you so much. Nyame Aduma na se debi share. Bye.
The greatness that is within us will always outweigh the injustices that have been visited against us. Despite what we've been through for centuries, our survival is a testament to that fact. In closing, I would like to offer this quote by Nelson Mandela. And he says, "Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizing, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. Truth begins with